Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the Real Talk Studios right here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I'm Matt Cinsudi, and this is the Dark Wing, Brian Daly. Sign guy is back behind the board as usual, Mr. Ryan Brodo. And unfortunately, our Penguin lover is MIA because he's taking care of a little business, you know what I mean? But anyway, it is that time of the year, and it is a Valentine's Day evening that we are coming to you live here from Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. And we are brought to you by Scazano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scazanosports.com. All right, then. So, feeling pretty good right now, man. Flyers have been they've been recovering from losses, which is great to see after having an absolutely abysmal first half, and I like where things are going. I mean, they've been doing pretty darn well for themselves right now. I mean, not perfect, but with a team like this, it isn't going to be seamless. So I can't really complain that much, though, at the end of the day. How about you, Brian? How you doing?
I got lots to complain about, but I won't. We'll just leave it alone.
At least you don't have anything to complain about from a Valentine's Day perspective, so there's that.
No, I don't.
So there you go. Yeah, so, hey, don't really have that many problems.
No, I mean, got rid of a bigger problem in Anaheim.
Yes, you did.
Got rid of Randy Carlyle, thank God. A little curious about why Bob Murray's taken over, but, whatever. It's a lost season anyway.
Oh, come on.
I hate saying that.
You're
I'm
really
not that kind of
throwing the towel in.
I am throwing it.
Good God.
I'm throwing a towel in. It's
what
the West is such a tough conference, man.
Oh, come on. It's not nearly as tough as the Metropolitan, but the Flyers are trying.
Listen,
Christ almighty.
Yeah, but the Flyers are winning. Anaheim just broke a 7-game losing streak.
Oh, come on,
They've lost like
man.
17 out of the last 19 games they've played. Like,
where would the Eagles be if they had decided to give up this year? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, wrong season. My bad. I
was going to say, oof.
Had to do it. Come on. I have to do one dig to the Eagles.
The look you're getting right now.
Just one. Give me a break.
You're getting right now.
The hockey guy has to get one in just every once in a blue moon. That's all there is to it. Christ almighty. Stop being so damn sensitive.
At least the Ducks won last night, so I'm happy about that.
All right. Well, there you go. Things are looking up for you already. Now you want to throw in the towel. But anyway.
Only like 24 games left.
That's true, though. There isn't that many when you do think about it. And we will be doing an update, by the way, on the playoff standings a little bit later on in the show, just to give everybody a conception, if you will, so they can a conceptualization or whatever the hell they call it.
The look.
I don't fucking know.
I don't
Dictionary.com.
Please feel free to correct
Listen,
me, but
I don't think conception is the word you want to use.
No, that's a term for somebody else.
That's a term for not wanting to have a child.
Yes. Well, no, wait a minute.
Or
that
when
is
you're having a child.
You don't even know the definition of the word I got wrong.
Happy Valentine's Day.
God damn it.
That's when the little guy swims into the hole and then finds the little...
Let me get to the music.
No. No need for the music. We're good.
That's called biology, kids. And
little biology lesson.
Yes, and believe me, you will be participating in biology at some point in your life.
You
don't know when,
Phelps.
but you will.
Little Michael Phelps enters the pool and he swims. He just keeps going and then he...
Do I have to
No, you don't have to do it. I'm good.
Hold on. Last thing.
No. I'm done.
So while you're practicing your breaststroke, you got your little Michael Phelps trying to practice their run.
Do I have the Jaws theme song somewhere in here?
All right. So with that, we will give a picture of the. We will give a picture of the playoff standings for you a little bit later on in the show. And anyway,
oh my gentle Jesus.
For the Twitter poll question of the evening, it is, will the Philadelphia Flyers make the wild card or the playoffs, whichever one you wish to utilize? My opinion would be wild card, but who knows? Maybe there might be some people out there who say, fuck it, let's go for the division. It's a little late to do it, but let's try.
At least we'll have a new hashtag for the show now.
Mike
no.
Phelps?
Conception talk.
Oh, okay. I was actually going to say hashtag Michael Phelps for a second. That'd be the first time he's been hashtagged in a while. But
You're thinking about it way too much.
Ryan's just putting way too much effort into this right now.
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, relax. Take it easy, sign guy. Don't hurt yourself. All right. So
At least you have that option.
not like you. You get to sit here under these bright lights and
And if
get
he goes, I
tortured.
got to take over.
Yeah, and that's a fate worse than death. But anyway, so with that being
Especially for me in technology, we don't get along very well.
All right, so with that being said, folks, we could talk about the Philadelphia Flyers and their victory that they did achieve. And anytime you want to toss in any Facebook comments, feel free to, Brian. But because we do love you guys out there, so please feel free to interact with us all evening, if you will.
We'll jump into some now. We got David Rosser chiming in. Ducks won last night with Murray.
Yes, they did.
Our boy Michael Klinkoff, who we miss you, Mikey. He says, "What's up, boys?" And he does go on to say they will not make the playoffs. This team is hot, or they will make the playoffs. This team is hot and scary.
Okay, good. I was afraid I was going to have to rip him, and I would much rather rip him when he's in studio than when he's away, because
Don't blame him.
It's much better when it's personal,
David Roscoe also thinks Chrome should be in the third spot for one night when Mikey or I am not here.
That would be interesting, and just to see Crone just like, yeah, sure, I totally agree. I have no idea what I'm fucking talking about.
Jake Friel chiming in. Yo, boys. Jake, what's going on, bro? Roscoe says, my Ducks, you keep making it all about you, Dave. Stop it. It's not all about you.
Listen, it's about time you realize
Our Ducks.
Not-
Our Ducks.
maybe it is his Ducks. Have you ever stopped to think for 2 seconds that maybe, just maybe, in this universe of ours, it is his Ducks? He secretly has.
Don't be so philosophical. Just stop it. He says, my Ducks won with Boyle. First win with a shutout. Second Duck to do it in franchise history. First to do it was John Gibson. And Frank Vespi, hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. Hashtag banana heads. As I said at the beginning of the season, the Flyers are a wild card team at best. They will need to strike gold at the deadline, which is a very fair point, which they definitely need to. And eat a bunch of hashtag Ryan's Jello to rack up a bunch of points.
Ah, the Ryan's Jello. It is the breakfast of champions from what I've heard. I don't know. Ryan, is it? He's not going to comment now.
I'm laughing at Klinkoff. He said, Matt, don't make me hit you like Malkin did on Raffle.
That was illegal anyway, and you freaking know it.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, see, it's funny because he can say that. It's like, oh, yeah, Malkin hit Raffle. He totally didn't swing his stick on purpose and hit him. Like, fuck off. He totally fucking did, and you know it. Come on now. I'm just surprised the Flyers didn't respond with a stick swing of their own.
I'm surprised they didn't respond with a couple fist flung of their own.
I'm really shocked.
But
you know
that
what?
was brutal.
You know what it is? I think by that point, I guess they just thought, this game's fucked anyway. So that would be my only assumption at this point in time. But anyway. Even though they did go down in flames to the Pittsburgh Penguins, tragically, the Flyers did recover, and they did manage to have a very big comeback against the Minnesota Wild and your old buddy Bruce Boudreau's team, and sent them home crying. Well, actually, they were home, but sent them back to their individual homes crying themselves to sleep in their Minnesota Wild jammies, and they're significant.
They're probably really warm, being that they were in Minnesota too, which makes me a little jealous. I wish I had warm jammies to go to bed to, but I don't.
You wish you had Minnesota Wild jammies?
Yeah, why not? They're probably all fuzzy and warm, made of fleece.
Okay. I was just wondering. I figured you'd be a guy who would rather have the duck fleece on that side.
Ducks don't really have fleece.
I know
It's
they
real
don't.
thin material.
I was doing it for comedic purposes.
No, I get it.
Duck feathers. We'll
Just
go
a
with the
little,
feathers.
It's a little thinner material.
Either way, though, you'll have duck feathers. We'll go with that one. We'll actually make a concerted effort to get you a duck feather jammies at some point in time.
How about the duck feather down pillow?
Ah,
That would be
there
good.
you go.
There we go.
There we go. For a relaxing sleep, duck feathers. It's the way of the future.
Thomas Arnaud chiming in. My boys, David Raska, hashtag Raska and Daily Ducks. I guess he's saying that to Frank Vespi. All right, that's cool. I can deal with that.
Sounds like a show.
Don Hartle chiming in hashtag banana head.
Yeah.
What's up, Don? How you doing, bud? So, yeah, I mean, it was a good game overall. There's a couple questionable calls.
Yes, there were. There were a few, but I mean, at the end of the day, though, I guess I can't truly complain too much if the Flyers did manage to get the win at the end of the day. So it's like, I could bitch about the refs for hours and hours on end, but you know what? The refs can't chew, so I can't really ask them to make a call perfectly right half the time. Hell, I've been seeing calls that are made not by the guy down at the line. We're talking to the center ice ref has to make half the calls half the time. Like, how the fuck are you that kill yourself bad at your job when you can't make a call for something that happens right in fucking front of you, yet the guy at
That's all
center
officials,
ice
though.
who is so far away from the play, he has no business making that call. He has to make the call. It's like, come on, man. Come on. That's like what? That's like an ump seeing a clear as day down the middle strike and calling it a ball. Come on now.
I've actually seen that, but
Oh God, have you seen it at the MLB level?
hold on. Yes.
Like, oh
And
my God.
here's my thing.
Whew. Jesus.
Officials in all sports now are lazy. They
Eh.
suck at their jobs because they know they don't have to do it fully because somebody's going to question their job anyway.
That is true, and they are so unionized too. So I don't
But
really
here's
think
my
they got
thing.
too much to worry about.
So in the Minnesota game, what was it? I guess it was the fourth goal. The one where it actually slipped through the bottom of the net. The
yes,
net came up.
yes.
So that was definitely the right call. I don't know if I actually would have called it a goal. I would have probably called it like a net dislocation, disallowed the goal. But the Flyers got the bounce back
They did.
in the James Van Riemsdyk goal that was basically on the goal line where they kind of swiped it away and kind of bounced in off of Dubnyk's glove. You know, hockey's a game of bounces and chances, and you got to kind of just throw it on net sometimes and just let the bounces take. Flyers did that. Van Riemsdyk was awarded with his 15th goal of the year, and they got the win for it. So can't really complain about that.
No, you can't really complain about that at all. Flyers showing that they can have some resilience to them at the end of the day. I mean, and you know what the funny part is? I feel like that Pittsburgh game, I feel like it's kind of odd how it comes full circle for me, at least for me. Because remember back when Crosby had his first game in Philadelphia and Darian Hatcher took his ass to school and threw him into the boards and then gave him a hockey root canal?
Yeah, and he drug him around the ice for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what Crosby did to Hart in a way by scoring on him and having the game he had with the team.
Properly walking him into the
I
NHL,
think that's what it seems like. It came full circle there, you know, where it's like everyone who's a big player who's coming into the team, you have to get welcomed into the Keystone State rivalry somehow, you know.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. Pittsburgh just flat out outplayed the Flyers that entire game.
Unfortunately, they did. I think it's just one of those things where even though the Flyers they're doing better than they were in the first half, it's still one of those things where it's like we're still a little bit away from Pittsburgh right now. We're getting there, but it's like that Pittsburgh level isn't there yet. Yeah, it's going to get there. But for now, we're still not there yet. We're getting there, though.
And it's fine. You know, you're getting a lot of spark from all these young players coming up. And you know, it's providing some of these guys like Giroux, like a rebirth. Simmons is starting to find points, and well, we know Giroux's doing what Giroux does, but you know, guys like Patrick Veroni, he's being productive, setting up plays and scoring goals.
Yeah, absolutely, and I just like the fact that we've had. I also like the fact that the veterans are having good years as well. I mean, James Van Riemsdyk's bounced back from his injury in a phenomenal way, and especially doing last night, he got 2 goals. So, I mean, Van Riemsdyk's returned from his injury and has been doing pretty darn well. And at the same time, too, you also have other players such as, an Ivan Provorov, who's had his struggles in the past, but he's getting better as the season's going along. Sanheim has been subtly starting to get a lot better at his play. There's a few things that I've been looking at, and I've been seeing the improvement from the young guys. The only person that I want to see get a little bit further in his improvement right now is probably Nolan Patrick. It's the only person right now at this time that I want to see get a little bit more on the improvement side. That's it. Other than that, though, all the young guys, I can't really complain. They've all been developing as best they can, and yeah, they're going to have their bad games, but they're young. It's a young team. What are
Yeah,
you going to
you're
do? Like, it's what's going to happen.
You're getting production in some way, shape, or form from some of these young guys. Like I said, Veroni's putting points up. Nolan Patrick's been playing better as of late. Travis Konechny's been playing better as of late. Ivan Provorov's been playing better as of late.
Yeah.
Like you're getting the production from these guys that you want. Sanheim in the Minnesota game had 2 assists. He had 2 points in that game.
Yeah, and that was a kid who was really struggling at the beginning of the year, and Provorov was struggling at the beginning of the year. 2 guys that you don't want struggling because of your defense, and look at them now. They've gotten themselves under control. They've gotten their composure. I still say we still need a veteran D-man to lead them, but at the end of the day, though, I like the recovery that they've had in this second half of the season so far.
Absolutely. I want to jump over to Facebook Live here real quick.
Go right
we
ahead.
Got some comments coming in.
Sure.
Michael Klinkoff, Crosby has more goals against the Flyers than any other team, and ew, I don't like that. He said, Brian, I have to disagree. The Flyers fucking killed us. Hart didn't have his best game and let some bad ones in. And it's going to happen. Not every goal is going to be perfect. Even Brodeur put some in.
There's bad. You're gonna. Well, also for Hart's excuses, this is his first year in the NHL, so it's like when you're facing off with the biggest rival that you have. Yeah, you're gonna make some mistakes as a rookie. It's very
you're
easy.
Gonna make mistakes regardless.
You're
so
gonna
it
make
doesn't.
mistakes,
It doesn't matter. It's fine. He's not gonna win every game.
Yeah.
Greg Malakovic, my dudes. Sorry, Daly. By the way, you spelled my last name wrong. And Raska, I was there for the duck hunt on Saturday. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. You and I had this discussion already. I think they'll just miss. I think they'll go on a slide when they end up trading Simmer, etc. I disagree with that.
I could see it happening, but that's the thing, though. If it does happen and the Flyers do miss, but they don't miss by much, I still say that's a great recovery for your second half of the year. If you still miss the playoffs, but you only miss it by a subtle amount, like you miss it by like 1 or 2 points. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was mid-burp there. Anyway, it was like 1 or 2 points and you miss the playoffs, then it's like, well, I can't really say it was a bad recovery because the only reason why we missed the playoffs was because of that terrible first half. So you still had a strong recovery. You were in the running to get into the playoffs after having a terrible performance. Yep. So I can't really hate that if they do miss.
No, and well, like I've been saying all year, I think they'll be a wild card team just like Mr. Vespi has been.
Well, I think they will be too. But
so over here on the tube real quick, Froston says, what's up, guys? And he has a question. He says,
Yo,
will there be a brawl at the Stadium Series for the Flyers-Pens game after the Malkin comments?
I think there will be. Honestly, I could see a team getting fired up with that. The Flyers did get a little embarrassed. They lost 4-1. Then they weren't really in the game. So I think I could see the Flyers wanting to defend home turf as best as possible. I could see it possible where we might have a gloves dropped on a fight. I could see it. I could see it very well happening.
I kind of don't. I don't see the rivalry as ferocious as it was in the past because you got, Penguins' windows starting to close a little bit at a time. Flyers are still in kind of rebuild mode, so you're not really getting the same veracity as you have been.
Yeah, but I think a Stadium Series game, it brings a little bit more of an extra edge to it because it's such a big game and it's such a big hyped game. I think there will be something there. I think there will be. Honestly, only because it's a Stadium Series game. If this was just a regular everyday game in South Philly or over in Pittsburgh, I don't necessarily think that unless there's a few things that happen in the game that would lead to it. I could see it happening mostly because it's a Stadium Series game.
Yeah, I don't see the gloves dropping. You got anything else over there on YouTube, brother?
No, everyone else is on Facebook.
All right, then.
Well, I got Greg chiming in, or Dave Roska. Philly should have won in a 7-4 against Minnesota. Philly should have scored 2 empty net goals for the Flyers. I don't think they ever pulled a goalie.
I don't think
they never pulled a goalie.
No. At the end of the day, though, it was whatever.
Anyway.
Again, I'm not really upset about the score. I'd be more upset if the Flyers couldn't recover from a loss. So they were fine in my book.
Greg Malakovic says, I said on Saturday that Patrick has some speed bursts that you don't see live, that you see live that you don't see on TV. Yeah, it's probably from the ham and cheese sandwiches that he has during pregame, or ham and cheese something. Whatever he's eating, he's got to keep eating it.
Maybe it's like something like a cheesesteak or something that gives you flatulence, and it's just he takes a giant fart and it just pushes him as fast as possible down the
Hey, man, that's fine.
I mean, hell, whatever works, right?
Right,
man?
exactly what I was going to say. Michael Klankoff says it's going to be a great outdoor game. I'm going to let Kyle and Michael go back and forth. Chrome chimes in, my puck guys. Great game versus Anaheim last week, boys.
Yeah, definitely was.
I can't say the same.
Well, maybe on one person's perspective.
I
but
can't say the same.
well,
Apparently, Anaheim decided to stay in California that entire fucking East Coast trip. Jesus Christ.
well, I don't know why you're so upset. You already threw the towel in, so it's like, are you surprised?
I'm not that kind of fan. Well,
you
I'm
just
usually not that kind of fan.
yeah, but I was gonna say, like, don't say you're not that kind of fan when you just told me right here on these airwaves that you just said I've thrown in the fucking towel at the beginning.
He said I missed the Flyers by going to the game against the Penguins.
That
Wait,
sucks.
you what? I missed the Flyers by going to the game against the Penguins.
Well, yeah, because he missed the Flyers winning.
He meant mushed, I believe.
Oh, I mushed the Flyers by going to. Oh, I get it.
Ah,
I get
makes
it.
sense. By the way, Chrome. By the way, Chrome, someone put out if you would want to be a third person on the Hockey Happy Hour. Feel free to do with that as you wish.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
No, I just want to throw the offer out there. Might as well put him on the spot on the air since he is interacting right now with us. That's the proper way to do these things. Not
Well,
give somebody current notice.
It's not like he's gonna sit there and offer me a spot on Lazy Booking.
Well,
or Birds
hey,
of a Feather on Tuesday nights.
well, hold on. You don't know that. You've never asked. And no one's ever commented about joining in on the show.
I tell you what, Chrome, since you're on with us right now, if I let you come on my show, I'm coming on your show. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Oh, we're gonna have
I'm just gonna kick in the door on a Tuesday and poof, I'm here.
We're gonna have invasions on both sides.
He said I wouldn't mind making a cameo.
Nice. That would be awesome because we have our own invasion angle right here. Only difference is instead of the WWF and the Alliance, it's Daily and
up to?
Chrome.
I'm not doing anything.
You're up to something.
Sign guy's got this. He's got this
You got
evil look
suspicious
on his
look on your
face.
face.
He's like, I swear, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Love
Would
you,
I
Chrome.
lie?
Just chilling, just sitting in a chair.
Sitting there chilling, tapping his fingers, like he's got something to say.
There's a keyboard here, that's why.
Sure. He's up to something. He said, open spots, bro, to do it. All right, maybe I'll just kick in the door one Tuesday and be like, I'm here.
There you
We'll
go.
see.
Tuesday or Thursday. I'm pretty sure you'd be welcomed either way.
I don't know if I can keep up with wrestling anymore. I haven't watched it in like 7 months. But anyway, back to hockey.
All right. So, Flyers beat Minnesota. Now, talk about the Flyers' second half. We've just seen how they've grown and how they've recovered from everything that happened in that first half. It seems like all the chaos of the situation is starting to really die down, shaking off, and Flyers are just back to playing hockey. They're back to taking it one game at a time, not letting the pressure get to them. The young guys are recovered. They are progressing now. They're playing well. The veterans are playing well, as they should. The only person who's been a little streaky has been Simmer, but then again, honestly, he's going to be the odd guy out. And I know I do see those articles, though. Everybody's saying, well, should they trade Shane? No, do not trade Gostisbehere unless you absolutely 1,000% are getting something worth him back. No.
He's been playing a little sloppy as of late.
He has been.
He had some really bad turnovers in that Minnesota game.
Yeah, but it's one game, so it's like, it's a one game. Everybody has a bad game. I can't hold that over his head. I'm mad that he did it, but I'm like, you know what? It's a bad game. Let it go. Let it go. We'll see how he does against Detroit on Saturday.
Got a home against Detroit, too. Saturday at home at 1 o'clock, and then Sunday at 6. And what is it, Little Caesars Arena now?
Yeah, Little Caesars Pizza Arena.
I still want to call it Joe Louis Arena.
I know. They were in it for so long. I mean, hell, actually.
Out to the, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to call it Joe Louis Arena. Fuck Little Caesars.
Joe Louis.
It's still Joe Louis Arena.
All right, then. May look a little different than the Joe Louis we remember, but okay.
Hey, you got an upgrade. That's all.
It's a big pizza mascot for Joe Louis.
Plastic surgery.
Oh, you got
plastic
so
surgery.
Joe got plastic surgery, looked like the Little Caesar pizza guy. Oh, okay, makes sense. He's a good-looking guy.
That one's on you, bro.
What? Pizza's great.
Pizza is great. Love pizza. Keep getting off track here.
Had some actually earlier today. It was awesome.
So, yeah, that game on Saturday is at 1 o'clock. The one on Sunday in Detroit is at 6, both of which you can see on one on NHL Network, NBC Philly, a bunch of Detroit stations, and the one on Sunday you can see on NBCSN.
Nice. So that is going to be an interesting series. The Red Wings they're in rebuild mode, so
Full rebuild mode.
yeah, full rebuild mode. So the Flyers should be able to get wins here, but that's the key is should. You never know. You never know with a team like Detroit. They can be tricky sometimes, because they face a team like Philly. They may take themselves a little bit more seriously. And my God, is that Todd Bertuzzi still on their
No,
fucking
that's
roster?
his son.
Oh, I was going to say, no fucking way is that Todd Bertuzzi. I was going to
His
say.
name's Tyler. Tyler Bertuzzi, I think his name is.
Jesus. Well, Todd Bertuzzi was playing, actually, what, 2 years ago he retired or 3 years ago, something like that?
This is a little longer than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Could have swore he was on the Red Wings not all that long ago. But anyway, that
Probably
was just,
still thinking of his son. His son's been over there a
yeah,
couple
good
years.
point. You're right. Yeah. Damn it. Don't have the
But yeah,
same.
I mean, they have a decent roster. They could win games if they wanted to, but they got an aging defense. I think their oldest defenseman is Trevor Daley, and then you got Nicholas Cromwell right behind him. And then you got guys like Jimmy Howard, who's in net for them. I mean, he's a below average goaltender at best.
Well,
Although he's having a
in
fairly
the-
decent year.
Well, he's a streaky goalie. Twilight of his career it's going to be.
Where are they
But
sitting?
at the end of the day, though, again, nothing's a guarantee in hockey, obviously. I mean, the way this team's been, they've been playing well. I don't want them to get a really good game against a tough opponent like Minnesota and then walk into a trap against Detroit after recovering from a tough loss.
Detroit is currently 23, 28, and 7, so
But
they're
that's-
having a slightly below average season.
But my point is, though, is that like at the end of the day, you don't want them to get caught in like a trap, and be like, fuck, they got caught, and then you have to recover in Detroit. You don't want to do that, So I just say, you know what? I think they should be able to win. They should. I have no doubt in my mind they should be able to win these games.
No, absolutely. They
So-
should be able to win. Like I said, the defense is a little on the older side,
Yes.
but the offensive side of the puck, they're actually really good. They still got Franz Nielsen, who's putting up his normal numbers, 8 goals, 21 assists. Thomas Vanek, who seems to have revamped his career since leaving Buffalo.
Yeah, I think he went back to Buffalo.
He's been in a couple of different places the last couple of years, and he's really revamped his career. He's got 11 goals, 17. The one guy you definitely want to keep notice of is obviously Dylan Larkin. You want to keep him off the score sheet.
Of course.
He's their leading goal scorer, leading point getter as well.
No surprise there.
And then the other guy you want to keep off the score sheet is Anthony Ciu, who
Yes.
has one of the best names in hockey, first of all.
He does.
And secondly, he's their second best scorer. He's another guy who, like Gustav Nyquist, he creates opportunities, he creates chances. You want to keep them guys on the wraps.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, like I said, home and home, Flyers should be able to get both games, and hopefully they will get both games rolling into the rest of their week that they have coming up in the near future. So now that we've been talking about the Flyers second half, and we've been talking about rumor mills, Simmons being the odd man out, possibly in a trade, which I think most of us have been calling for the better part of the season now.
Yeah, because you get the value for him, and his contract's not
Lengthy.
brutal.
Yeah, and then so speaking of those kind of players, one player that has actually been spoken of by the Flyers has been talked about is Cam Talbot. Now,
Yeah,
before
they've been having talks today.
yes, now before anyone decides to jump off a bridge, you could pick either one, Betsy Ross or Ben Franklin. Hold on.
I think I'll go over off the wall. At least that way I can see the Philly Stadium as I go.
All right. Well, okay. You can go with that one. Actually, that should be a poll question. Which bridge would you jump off of if you just said, fuck it? That should be a Twitter poll question. I'm sure that won't get any backlash whatsoever in the PC world we live in today. Right, Brodo? I have to include him. I have to.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So with all that,
I love that he just turns the mic on for that and
He's
turns out.
just
He
like-
just doesn't shake his head.
he's just like, I don't want to be a part of this. It's like, well, you're going to be a part of this, goddammit, whether you want to or not.
Do I want to know?
Yeah, you're gonna want to see this.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Maybe save it for the break.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay.
don't
All
mind me.
right. We'll go.
Don't even look over here.
Okay. All right. Fine. Here. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, anyway, so the reason why they're interested in Cam Talbot, sorry, we went back to hockey. We'll get back off track in a minute. But with the Edmonton Oilers, the reason why Cam Talbot is being looked at by the rest of the team right now is because him and Hart actually have a relationship.
Yep. In the offseason.
Yeah, and so they're kind of buds. And Talbot's a vet. He's played in New York, and I would hope that when he was brought up as a young kid, he was taught a little bit of something by Henrik Lundqvist, who's only the best goalie in the NHL. Even still, by today's standards, I can't really argue against him.
Nope.
So he can take all the experience he has of being a starter, being a backup, and you can platoon him with a Hart, if you feel more comfortable doing that. Or you can just have Talbot be the backup for Hart, but Talbot's kind of the coach for Hart with the goaltending coach, and kind of mentor the young kid along. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The only negative side I see that is it does pretty much seal the fate of someone like Anthony Stolarz, who would most likely then be looked at as, all right, well, he would be the one to go.
Not necessarily. I mean, there's a couple names I'm hearing. I'm hearing it could be Brian Elliott in a prospect, or Brian Elliott in a draft pick, or Michael Neuwirth could be heading that way, which honestly I doubt it's Neuwirth.
I doubt that, yeah.
But I think it's going to wind up either being Stolarz or Elliott.
I would rather see
I think that's actually too much, but that's just me personally.
I mean, honestly, though,
if it's an idea to make the transition from minor league hockey to NHL level that much better, and it's going to make him a better goaltender in the future and in the long run, and he doesn't feel that he's getting what he needs from Scott Gordon, who is doing really a bang-up job with this team right now, I say pull the trigger on it. And I'm not a big Cam Talbot fan. I always thought he was an overrated goalie. But if he helps make Carter Hart better in the long run, it's a chance you have to take.
No, and I think so too. And I have no problem with that. When I first saw the Cam Talbot thing, I'm like, what? Because I was thinking, like, why the fuck would we be interested in a guy who can't be a starter in Edmonton? But then I looked at it a little deeper. I'm like, I see. You don't bring him in as a starter. You bring him in as a mentor. It's a totally different vibe. Yeah, Cam Talbot will probably play, but he'll play in a backup goalie or a platoon capacity where most of the games is getting logged by Hart, but Talbot is stepping in here and there to give him a rest and at the same time coach him along and help him get more transitioned into that NHL capacity, which I wouldn't mind, honestly, because the one thing you don't want is for someone to get become a head case. That's the last thing you want. Now, I don't really think Hart would be that way because Hart, if you've ever known anything about the kid, he is so mature for his age.
He's very poised. He's he seems very relaxed in that, which is why I think he has so much success so early in his career. But if you bring in a buddy of his, a guy who's worked with him in the past in the off season and knows his tendencies and sees maybe little ticks that maybe you don't. It could be a huge benefit.
And not only that, too, one thing Talbot will bring to the table that'll be hugely beneficial is he also has playoff experience. Yeah. Because Talbot, obviously, the last time Edmonton was in the playoffs, which seems like a long time ago, even though it wasn't.
He was the starting goaltender.
Yeah, Talbot was the starting goalie.
What was it, 40, 43, 44 wins that year?
Yeah, and that was like a career year for him, pretty much.
And I called it. Flash in the pan.
Oh, you were right about I will say you were right about Devin Dubnyk, and you were right about Cam Talbot. Yeah, Devin Dubnyk, I wasn't completely sold on.
I know my goaltenders,
but he proved himself worthy.
That's not true.
Cam Talbot, though, yeah,
I got lucky twice.
You did call that one though. Like he was a flash in the pan. I didn't necessarily buy Cam either because of the fact that he was a backup goalie to Henrik Lundqvist.
I mean, like that. That's great for him. That he learned so much from Henrik Lundqvist before he went to Edmonton as a free agent. But, I mean, I never saw a wow factor. And even when he was winning 44 games, I still didn't see the wow factor. I saw a good defense playing in front of him, which helped.
It did.
But after a while, some guys got hurt. Yeah, some guys got traded away. You brought in another guy who maybe not have been as good as the guy you lost, but I started to see the Cam Talbot that I knew.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
But it's still, though, at the end of the day, though, I don't mind the idea of the move. I just hope that if they're going to trade someone, they
Don't overpay for
don't
him.
overpay.
That's all I want.
Yeah, definitely don't overpay. Even if you do give a draft pick, it's probably going to be a latter round.
I would say
anyway.
fifth, sixth, maybe a seventh.
Maybe
and
a seventh,
goalie.
because usually the sevenths are the one to go with goalies. Usually,
which is fine.
So I wouldn't be. It's not a pick we're gonna miss. At the same time, too, if we get rid of Elliott, it's like we're not gonna miss him. So,
no, not at all. And that's like my biggest thing is Brian Elliott is in. I want to say he's in Lehigh Valley on conditioning assignment, which means he's getting ready to come back. If he can get healthy and he can start a couple games and look good for the Flyers, I think that benefits the value for him, especially in a deal like this, because right now you're not going to get anything for Brian Elliott. You're probably going to wind up having to trade Stolars.
You're right. I would hate to see Stoli go because I know Stoli isn't a bad goalie. It's just that, unfortunately, there was going to be an odd man out with all the goalies prospects we had. And unfortunately, if it winds up being him, it does wind up being him. Him being injured didn't help nothing.
No.
That
meniscus tear last year.
Yeah, it didn't
brutal.
help anything. It's a shame, because he is a solid goalie.
Yes.
I have no doubt in my mind he's a solid goalie. Is he a starter? I don't know. He may be, maybe not. That's still the jury's still out on that one.
Minus a couple of really bad turnovers and missed opportunities to turn the puck over. I thought Stolars played really well against the Minnesota Wild.
Oh yeah, he played fine. I had no problem with that. I just think that, I think of him as a starter. I don't know. He hasn't really had a full year to really prove himself. He hasn't even really had half a year. And again, that was mostly because of the injuries that hurt him.
And the
at
contracts
the end
of Brian Elliott and Michael Neuvirth.
Yeah, that killed him at the end of the day. That is why you do not sign veterans to long-term deals, because that shit can happen. But hey, listen, if it winds up being the case and Stoli goes, I'll miss him in a way. I'd be like, it's a shame because he does have
Not a
talent.
guarantee though.
Not a guarantee, but it's like I'd miss him a little bit and be like, you know what? He was a solid, good enough player that could definitely be a good backup for Hart. But at the end of the day, though, if his mission is to be a starter and he has the ability to, all right, fine, go be a starter.
So here's why I think it's going to wind up being Brian Elliott.
Okay.
One, you're not going to keep Brian Elliott in the minors.
Absolutely not.
He's still got enough in the tank, and he's still fairly young enough that he can make it. He can make an impact somewhere. Two, you're not going to put Cam Talbot when you trade him on the AHL squad. You're not going to send him to Lehigh.
No.
With Stolars, you have that flexibility that you can keep him in the minors. And, yeah, he might get a little butthurt over it, but at the same time, he's still only 24, 25.
Yeah.
He's still rarely young, and it's just more of an option to move Brian Elliott than it is to move Anthony Stolars.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing, too. With that being said, I could see, since he's on conditioning assignment, I wouldn't be surprised if if that deal happens after an Elliott game. If we see Elliott maybe.
Absolutely.
I think he'll come up. He may start one game, and if he does well in that game, I think they might sell that on, him not being damaged at the time.
I'm going to say maybe they're having preliminary talks, and preliminary talks usually means it's going to take a little bit of time. Trades like that usually don't happen that quickly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say when he comes up and he gets his first start, I'm going to give it about 3 or 4 games from there.
Gotcha.
Just so they get to, wanted to show off that his injury's 100% healed, that he can still move side to side, that he still has that quickness, and he can still basically, be of value to another team like Edmonton, who, frankly, is at the bottom of the league. I think they're at the bottom of the league. Let me double check.
Good question. I don't know.
I got the standings right here. I just got to scroll down.
Okay, just wanted to check there. So the trade deadline, in case anybody is wondering, is the 25th. So if anyone was wondering how long they have to make this deal official, they have till then.
Anaheim is currently tied with Edmonton for 7th in the division, in the wild card, excuse me.
Okay, so that means if you put it all together, they're pretty damn low in the NHL right now. And, honestly, again, it's one of those moves. It's a bit of a sneaky kind of move, where it would work, again, because it would be beneficial to Hart, and it would get rid of someone that we really don't need. And at the same time, maybe Elliott does something with Edmonton. Who knows? No real.
You absolutely have no idea what's going to happen. But, Edmonton it's a weird organization, and they have so much young talent, but they can't seem to build up that defense to be good enough.
It's just one of those things where they, not only that, they took a gamble on Talbot. Talbot proved he's not a starter. And then at the same time, too, they've been just stacking all these top draft picks, and they've just got no way of making them gel. They haven't been able to have stable coaching, although now recently that is not the case because they've had what is his fucking name? Tom McClellan. There we go.
It's not even McClellan anymore. He got
canned. That's right. He did get fired. Holy shit. Who is him?
I don't know why I want to say Ken Hitchcock, but he's in Dallas.
No.
Oh, shit. Who the fuck is it?
I forgot he got fired. See, that's how much Edmonton changes its fucking coaches.
I got to look it up.
Although I will
shoot myself in the foot.
Although I will say, Todd McClellan can at least say he gave Edmonton their best year in recent years. He can at least say that. He'll be like, yeah, I had Edmonton went to the playoffs when I was coaching them. Yeah, they got out in the first round, eliminated by these guys right here, in case anybody was wondering.
I remember that. That was great. Oh, it is Ken Hitchcock.
Oh, he did take a deal with Edmonton?
Yeah.
Holy
I don't know why I
shit.
thought he was in Dallas. Then who's in Dallas?
No, that's Lindy Ruff.
No, he hasn't been there in years. All right. Well, now I got to see who's in Dallas. No, I'm really confused.
It's a mystery.
It really is. Okay, let's see here. Oops, spelled that wrong. Jim Montgomery is in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. Who that is. He seems to be doing a good job with him, though.
There's been a lot of unknowns who've come out of the woodwork. I mean, look at the Flyers.
He's got him. He's got him in a playoff spot. He's got him in a division spot.
Whatever he's doing is working. It's like Scott Gordon. Whatever the fuck he's doing, it's working for the Flyers right now. So so much so that it's going to be a debate whether or not he stays permanent for next year.
Yep. Dave, I believe the trade deadline is the 25th. You said?
Yeah, I looked at it. It's the 25th of February on Monday. So they have until then to make it an official move and an official trade before that's it. No goes.
Okay, so we got Keith Engberg. I hope I said your last name right. Not all our teams can be great at the same time, but they should try to do something. Show heart, desire, and all of us fans want. Now, Eagles, go out and get AB, and Phils get Harper. AB's not coming to Philly, brother. I'm sorry, man. I don't want him anyway.
Who's AB?
Antonio Brown.
Oh, that explains why I don't know him.
And the Phillies aren't waiting on Harper. The Phillies are waiting on Harper's agent, Scott Boras, and Scott Boras has a tendency of holding these out. I have to now? Uh-oh.
If we're going to talk about that thing.
Uh-oh, let me see.
He said his name.
Uh-oh, let me see. What's it say?
It's like he named he who should not be fucking named in Harry fucking Potter. Christ almighty.
Refused to say it.
Bro, let's be real. I've been hearing it's tomorrow.
I
It's
know,
tomorrow.
I know.
It's within the next 24 hours for the last week.
I know. Somebody just sent it to me to say, hey, you got to say it on the air. So he said his name, so I got to send it to you.
All right, that's fine. That's.
Listen, it's a blue
I mean,
check.
I appreciate it.
Just trying to help. You know what I mean?
You should just have hashtag
But
Bryce Harper talk.
I just keep hearing it all the time.
Really, every show should have hashtag Bryce Harper talk at the bottom.
There's a reason why I have not said his name.
The name we shall not say.
I can say it because I'm a hockey guy, so I don't give a shit. Anyway.
The name that shall not be said here. That's actually pretty funny. But yeah, we're waiting. It's just waiting on Scott Boras. But anyway, Flyers, Edmonton, right? Talking trade.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. See, I told you we were going to get back off track some point.
Oh, of course. But you know what? At least it's a good reason we got off track.
Perspective.
It wasn't our usual bullshit shenanigans like we did at the beginning of the show.
But those are fun. Those are those moments.
Hashtag conception talk.
Yeah. Those are those moments where you start to reflect almost and see what's going on in the inner workings of our minds. And yes, you will be scarred for life. But anyway.
Yes. I'm always scarred. I've been scarred for life ever since I joined this station. But hey, that's fine. That's fine. We have a lot of fun here.
Good. Then we did good. We did our job.
I just literally saw the finger go.
Getting those beds ready for everybody.
Oh
as
my
this
gosh.
is what Mr. Brodo does on a daily basis. Oh God, Mr. Brodo though, we don't need to talk about mental scarring. This poor guy. Good God, poor sign guy.
What did I do?
No. I'm just saying your mental scarring must be terrible from the shit you got to put up with from us. Good God Almighty. Seriously.
This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Keith goes on to say, like years ago, honk for Herschel. I don't know if either of you guys are. Neither of you guys are old enough for that. Are you?
I'll
I
be
know what
honest
it
with
is,
you,
Mr.
no.
Daly.
Please
Sorry.
feel free to fill in the fans who
It's
don't know,
honk for
including
Herschel.
us.
Honk your horn if you want Herschel Walker to come to Philadelphia. That's all it was. So, sorry to get off track. We could talk about WWE.
Sure, go ahead.
I mean, Keith, Thursday nights right before the Hockey Happy Hour here on ATP
just
Radio.
missed
We
us.
have you just missed lazy booking.
Well, fuck it.
All WWE talk.
I can
brother.
still field at least one question. Go ahead.
All right, he hasn't given me a question yet. So.
All right. Well, give me. All right. I will put a quota. One question.
Oh, you said I'm not that old. I never said you were old, Keith. Let's be fair.
What are you doing insulting our freaking viewers?
I'm not trying to insult anybody.
Stop calling people old, damn it.
Sorry, I'll be
Jesus.
more PC.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to be.
That's not happening.
You could have fooled
Oh,
me.
here we go.
You have to admit, I was very patient tonight.
You were very patient. You were ready to go at like 5 seconds into the show.
Oh, yes, he was. All right.
Listen, duty calls, you know what I mean?
Duty does call.
It does. It does. It definitely calls for Mr. Daly as well.
He said he's in Palm Springs time.
Ooh.
Nice.
Damn, man, you must be having a good motherfucking time right now.
I would if I was in Palm Springs. Like
I'm surprised he's watching the show. Lots to fucking do there.
Yes.
It's like, damn, thank you for joining us. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh no, David Rossi just chimed in. Dwayne Johnson is way more better than O.J. Simpson.
Okay.
At what?
Well, let's
On
go
the
to-
gridiron?
let's go to a different
Because,
type
I
of
mean,
music
we
now.
can't really say much about him murdering someone. So, I mean, Dwayne hasn't done that.
OJ, I don't think
Yet.
OJ ever wrestled, right?
No, not to my knowledge. It would only have to be football. That's the only thing the two have in common, and that's literally the only thing the two have in common. Although O.J. Simpson did show up at WrestleMania
Okay,
12.
so he brings up a really good question for you,
Anyway, go ahead.
and it's not close to hockey related.
Okay.
Should WWE have left it just Becky and Ronda, and might it still happen?
No, it's not going to be Becky and Ronda. It's going to be Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. And the reason why it happened is because they really wanted to put Charlotte in that match. And secondly, they wanted to take the heat off of Ronda because they realized Ronda was getting booed out the ass on Monday Night Raw. And they don't want Ronda to get booed. So, anyway.
No, she's a big-time athlete. She's big. She was big-time in the octagon. They wanted her to be big-time here.
Well, yeah, they want her to be a babyface. The problem is that because she's going up against Becky, she's not getting cheered. So that's the problem. So that's why they're going with Charlotte to get all the heat off of Ronda. That's the whole reason why she's in this match. That's the reason why Vince did it. It's the only reason why.
Keith goes on to say he's been out of Philly for about 20 years, but he can't leave his Philly sports behind. Keep that Philly sports with you, brother.
Yes, keep
all
it
the time.
forever, man. Hey, man, it doesn't matter where you go. You may be in Palm Springs, but your heart is still in Philly at the end of the day.
Kyle Meager goes on to say, Ronda needs to go back to the UFC. It's killing me to see her in the WWE. She deserves better.
I don't know. I think she'd disagree with that after getting her ass kicked a couple of times. But anyway, go on.
Great question by Keith Engber. All hockey, all the time. It's Wayne Simmons being traded, and who else might the Flyers be bringing in?
Well, I've said we've both agree on who we want to bring into the Flyers defense, and that's Justin Falk. In a lot of pretty much.
Colton Parenko, I heard his name on the trade block.
That's
he
not
would be
bad.
An interesting piece.
He'd be an interesting piece to go. He'd be an interesting choice. If you're gonna trade Wayne, that would be where I would angle it. I would go for that kind of an angle there, where I would like.
Good luck with that, Keith. Sorry.
What did
You
he
get
say?
your own damn pretzels.
Was he asking you to get the Philly pretzels?
He said, "I need pretzels. Please send me some." Wait, don't you have a Philly pretzel factory out there?
Maybe not. We don't
You
know.
might not.
I haven't been there.
That might be a local thing, actually.
Yeah, it may be a local thing. Who knows? I mean, Tasty Cake only just went national how long ago? So, I mean, hard to believe. You imagine going into a Wawa? Well, actually, I can't even say that because Wawa's not even fucking national. But imagine going into a convenience store which is not a Wawa, so that's already a mind fuck. And secondly, you go in there and there's no Tasty Cakes. 2 mind fucks right there. I don't know if you could take it. My head would fucking explode. It's already bad enough when I don't see a Wawa. It's already bad enough.
I already
Anyway.
know I suck, Keith, so I don't take that to heart. All right, at Disco Load. All right, updated top 50. Let's look at – the Jets have their first-round pick available. All right, let's look at defensemen here. We're looking for defensemen. Dougie Hamilton's available. Could be a good – actually, that could be a really good move for the Flyers as far as getting that guy that, can help solidify the defense. Dougie Hamilton, only 25 years old. Only thing is his contract. He's got 2 years on his contract, and he's got almost a $6 million cap hit, which will really hurt.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Let's see who else we got out here. Brett Pesce from Carolina, 23 years old. He's got a $4 million cap hit, but he's got 5 years left on his contract. So
I don't see them moving that.
I could definitely see them moving it. He's still a young guy too.
He is,
So
but
that's perfect. So you have him for 5 years. You have him until he's 28. So you get him into his prime.
That's true. That's a possibility. I don't know. It's just because he's young. I would rather go for an older
Cody Cece's another one who's out there.
Cody Cece.
Justin Falk, who we talked about. Adam McQuaid's out there, who could be a good one.
Adam McQuaid,
as a rental.
rental, yes.
$2.75 million cap
That's not
hit,
bad.
and he's a free agent at the end of the year.
That's a very nice contract right there.
So if he doesn't pan out like the Flyers want him to, or like anybody thinks he will, Adam McQuaid, you just say, all right, bye-bye.
Yeah, and then of course Parenko right there. He's still got 3 years left, and he's a $5.5 million cap hit right now.
All right, we're gonna take a timeout real quick because Kyle Meager asked a great question, and I got a question for you, Kyle. I want his job. Can I have it? He wants to know how the Ducks fell off so quickly. A lot of it has to do, Kyle, with the fact that they didn't want to play for Randy Carlyle anymore. He didn't really have a system in place for that offense, and it just kind of they just kind of sizzled out. Even when Ryan Getzlaf gets to the point where he's not playing his best, it's time for a coaching change.
Well, not only that too, he kind of came in kind of just on that weird whole thing when Bruce Boudreau got fired. It was almost like they desperately needed to put a Band-Aid over a giant gaping hole, and that became Carlisle because he got them to the Cup that year,
Oh, he gets a lot of stuff out there. He's got Jersey Mike's out there.
Oh, nice.
Keith Engber. He had Aritas, but apparently came and left it under a year.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
Which sucks. But at least he gets his Tasty Cakes around the holiday, so that's
hey,
awesome.
well, there you go.
Listen, all you need is Tasty Cakes, and you're good, bro.
Oh, yeah, you're perfect.
He also asks, can the Flyers overspend, or is there a cap in hockey? I'll let you field that one.
No. There's a cap. Can't really overspend. It is what it is at the end of the day.
I believe the cap is up to, 78 mil?
They did bump it up a little bit, which is fine because that actually helps us. Again, though, it just depends on how you want to manage it. Because here's the thing, though. If you trade Wayne Simmons, you are getting rid of some cap, and so you're not as hurt. And so it's not – you're getting rid of some cap hit from Wayne, so it's not as bad. And Wayne was one of the guys who was pulling down a pretty decent penny there. So you've got a little bit of an open spot there, and you could, in theory, shuffle it to the defensive side of things by bringing in a veteran who has a little bit of a higher contract. I don't recommend it because then you are going to have to deal with that cap-wise, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for you to do.
All right, Kyle says – to what I explained to him, that's fair. It's just mind-boggling to me since they have so much talent on that roster. He said the Flyers situation was brutal about a month ago. I'm grateful for Hart. Listen, it is mind-boggling because they have a ton of talent. Injuries haven't helped. You had Cam Fowler out for a little bit of time because he had a jaw injury. Corey Perry just came back from a knee injury. We're just still waiting to see how that knee holds up in gameplay. Patrick Eads isn't even back yet.
Jeez.
So we also have a lot of plugging in a lot of young players here and there, and
yeah,
it's just a whole. It's just this whole thing. So.
I noticed that too when they were playing the Ducks. Like, oh my God, I don't recognize half of these fuckers. Like,
Yeah.
like it really shows you how much that team has changed in just a matter of a few years.
Yeah. Jumping back to Keith's original question about the trade deadline, Colton Parenko is still available, but his cap is big at 5.5. You have Alec Martinez, who would be a great addition to the Flyers roster. He's a really good defenseman, I personally think, because I get to see him a lot. He's got a $4 million cap hit. He's got 2 years left on his contract. So if you're not willing to go for a rental and you want somebody who's under contract for a couple of years, I would say take a run at Alec Martinez, but he's going to cost you something pretty. Jay Bouwmeester is available. Alex Eller's another one who I would consider bringing in, but his cap hit's really high at 5.
I don't know. Even as an unrestricted free agent, again, I would definitely not be bringing in Ben Lovejoy.
No, Ben Lovejoy's washed up.
Yeah.
Chris Tanev's a decent one. Again, fairly high cap hit.
Mikhail Bucker down there.
Well, he's a winger anyway.
Oh, duh. I didn't realize that.
Nathan Bailou.
That's he's not a bad option.
He's fairly young, 26 years old. He's got a 2.4, but he's a restricted free agent at the end of the year.
Not bad. I mean, there's options out there. Again, though, I think
ton of good options, but it's all what you're willing to spend for him.
I mean,
did I just see? Okay.
the thing about also Jay Bouwmeester is not a bad option for veteran leadership, but the problem is that he's also got a high cap hit. He's got a 5.75. I think it's the highest one I've seen so far on this list.
So I mean, like we talked about. Justin Falk, 4.8 cap hit. He's got 1 year left.
It's a little bit
and
more.
He's only
favorable.
26. It's a little bit more favorable, but if you're gonna go after a guy like Justin Falk and you're gonna spend a lot for him, you have to go out and he's a guy you'll have to re-sign.
Yeah.
He'll be 27 at the end of his contract. You bring in a guy like that. He's got to get back on the. You got to re-sign him. You got to do a trade and sign.
Well, I mean that's the same issue you run into with an Adam McQuaid. Only difference is though McQuaid's contract though is a lot more nicer. It's only $2 million cap hit. So if I'm looking at this, as much as I like the Falk idea of him being on the Flyers, I would say Plan A, since he is a little cheaper, should be a McQuaid. But if you can't get McQuaid, I would then consider going for the Falk. I know it's not an easy choice to make, but if you have to move something around, you have to move something around. Plus, also, we're not taking into account if the Wayne Simmons deal does go down and he's off of our books and we bring in someone that's not as expensive, we may have the ability. But
you'll have room.
Yeah,
we'll
have to see what happens if we trade Wayne and where he goes and what we get back, really.
Yeah, I would definitely – my wish list is Justin Falk and Alec Martinez because – both very good two-way hockey players. Adam McQuaid's more like that stay-home physical player, which fits the Flyers, but they need to get away from that. So my wish list is Alec Martinez for the Flyers and Justin Falk.
Yeah.
A little expensive, but they're worth it.
I mean, but that's the thing, though. I knew it was going to be an expensive deal. I knew it was going to cost a little bit of money, but that's the thing. Again, you got to Wayne Simmons deal it. You move some shit around, and you get some cap space.
Real quick, Keith, to answer your question, are they more in the mode of # trust the process or looking to win more? They're definitely they're in that in between.
They're in that in between. I think they want to wait and see how the deadline goes and see what they put some feelers out there and know where they stand. I think the only trade I could see happening right now, though, for that deadline, maybe that Cam Talbot thing. Because it just seems like that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
As for the Wayne Simmons deal, I don't think that trade will be coming this year. During this season, as we get closer and closer to the deadline, I think we may see that Wayne Simmons deal. It's looking more and more like that's going to happen in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, with that being said, that I believe takes care of the Facebook, and we will be heading to the other side. However, though, if you did join us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, sadly, we will have to bid you adieu. But, in the comments, there is a link to hop on to the YouTube and join us for the second half of the show. So, if you're out there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do not panic, do not run away, do not scream at the top of your lungs. Just hit that little link right there, and they'll take you to the wonderful world of YouTube, and you can catch the second half of the show. But with that being said, Hockey Happy Hour is brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accounts located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. Man, taxes fucking suck, dude. They really fucking do. But you know what? You know how they can make it just a little bit easier for you? Having an expert handle your taxes. And what I'm talking about is Gibson Mayer. Why? Because he'll get you all the money you deserve from the IRS. Take every penny you can because you earned it. You worked for it. It got taken out of your paycheck all year. Get it back. Be ready. Be prepared. And call Gibson Mayer. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We'll see you on the other side, YouTube. Peace, everyone out there on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like I said, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Mount from New Jersey. And I fucked up, actually.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Real Talk Studios here in Mount from New Jersey.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah, I did fuck up.
Yeah, you did.
See? You trying to cover up, trying to be PC. Like, no, let's call
Trying to make
out.
you feel better.
I appreciate that, but you do realize that Valentine's Day is like a day for lonely people to be miserable, right? So, you know,
All right, fine, be miserable.
You have to fucking pile on that shit when you get the opportunities
I
to.
don't have. Listen, I don't have that problem anymore.
No, I know you don't. I'm just saying you have the opportunity, man. You got to take those opportunities.
Yep.
Oh, anyway. So with that being said, this is the Hockey Happy Hour, and yes, we are in the Real Talk Studios here in Mount from New Jersey. Got it? Good. And
Hashtag it.
we are brought to you by Sports Outlet for all your sporting news. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletiinc.com. All right, then. So, are you ready, Mr. Daly,
for
some NHL scores to be given out to the masses out on YouTube? Which, by the way, if you are joining us from Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, thank you for clicking on the link and joining us for the second half of the festivities here on YouTube.
Usually I am ready, but my phone's taking forever to load the score. Ah, here we go.
That's all right. It's all right.
All right, here we go. Yeah, we're good now.
Cool.
All right, so we're going to start off with the St. Louis Blues and the Arizona Coyotes, who are currently 5:55 left in the third period, and it looks like who's on the power play? It doesn't say. It looks like Coyotes are on the power play, down 4-0.
Wow.
The Maple Leafs and the Golden Knights are tied up at 2 about midway through their game. They're about 10-19 in the second period.
Okay, then.
At the end of the first, we got the LA Kings and the Vancouver Canucks tied up at 1. The Capitals and the Sharks are yet to get underway, which, wait, it's 11:30. Why is that not started yet?
Damn it.
Rain delay?
Yes.
It's got to be a weather delay. There has to be.
Yes, in the hockey arena right now, wherever the fuck they are. I would assume it's the SAP Center.
Leave it. Never mind. I'm not going to go there.
No.
So
You know what? They have an actual shark tank, and the sharks got out on the ice because the tank fucking exploded. There we go.
Well, the tank's underneath, so they kind of swam up.
Yeah, they swam up, and they started eating players.
Jaws got through.
Yeah, they started eating a few players. Brent Burns had to kill it, and, now it's a whole big mess. Anyway, moving on.
So getting into the finals tonight, we got the Flames downed by the Florida Panthers by a final score of 3-2 in a shootout.
Ooh.
The Columbus Blue Jackets get blanked by the New York Islanders by a final score of 3-0.
Where the fuck did the Islanders come from? Anyway, keep going.
They've been like this all year, bro.
I know, but where the fuck did they come from? Like,
It's
Jesus.
Matthew Barzal, man.
Yeah.
The Red Wings have upset the Ottawa Senators by a final score of 3-2 this evening.
Well, I mean, that beating the Senators is, not as coveted of a prize as it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, to no one's surprise, the Tampa Bay Lightning have blanked the Dallas Stars by a final score of 6-0.
They didn't blank them. They spanked them. Good God almighty.
Hey, with the rhyme. Nice. The Nashville Predators beat the Montreal Canadiens by a final score of 3-1. The Avalanche upset, and I believe they broke their losing streak tonight, the Winnipeg Jets by a final score of 4-1. And the Chicago Blackhawks win on home ice tonight by a final score of 5-2 over the New Jersey Devils.
Well, any day the Devils lose is a good day, so I'm perfectly fine with that. All right.
And I'm going to see about this fucking Sharks game. Why hasn't it started yet? It should be an hour into the game.
Oh, I could just I could just see it. A giant shark just coming through the fucking middle of the logo, too, and everything, and it just gobbles up one of the players.
I know I was mostly joking about the rain delay, but I'm not saying direct rain delay, but in NBA games they have had delays due to outside weather, leakage and stuff like that. So
interesting.
I can see that possibly happening.
What game is it, Daly?
It's San
San
Jose
Jose
and Washington.
And yeah.
I'll check the Twitter.
Interesting. So while we're checking that out, wondering why the fuck this game that was supposed to start at 10:30 hasn't started yet, we are going to take a look at the current standings in the NHL.
I believe your app is behind because according to San Jose Sharks Twitter, They're trailing 2-1 after 20 minutes of action.
All right, then.
Okay, good. Then it isn't me.
So no rain.
So,
Yay.
yeah, no rain. No rain in the SAP Center and no Jaws coming through the ice. Damn it. That would have been awesome.
That would have been kind of cool. I'm not
More
going to lie.
excitement. Yeah.
That would have been fucking great, man. Would have reminded me of NHL Hits. God, that game was fucking great. Anyway, all right, so we're going to take a look at the standings of both the West and the Eastern Conferences. And the reason why we're doing this is because, like I said before,
Let
it's
me
time.
make sure I'm on the wild card here.
I think you are.
I am.
Like I teased
We'll make sure.
like I teased before, it's time for some conception talk, folks. It's time to talk about the playoffs.
Hashtag conception time.
Yes. Let's do this.
So awkward.
So awkward, but yet so right.
Nothing right about it.
Oh, come on. Don't deny it. You know it's correct. Who better to teach you conception than me and Daly?
I don't know. I got nothing.
I
I got nothing.
it was too easy. All right, go on. Please
Apparently,
feel
Matt had a
free.
really, really good happy hour today.
I have to have my jokes in every once in a blue moon. Come
Hey, it's
on.
all good, brother.
Let me
It's all
live. Go ahead.
All right, so right now, looking at the wild card standings in the East, the Metropolitan, you got the New York Islanders sitting in first place with 74 points and a goal differential of plus 28. Washington Capitals, who are currently in action right now, are in second place, sitting at 34-19-7 with a goal differential of plus 9. So their offense has been there. Their defense has not been as good.
Yeah, that's like the lowest one I've seen out of the division leaders, or at least those in the division standings.
Yeah, they've scored 192 goals and have given up 183, which is kind of high for them.
That is hugely high.
In the top three in the division, it's the highest so far. And the Columbus Blue Jackets are in third at 32-21-3 with a goal differential of plus 10.
All right, then.
In the Atlantic Division here, their top three is obviously we got Tampa Bay in first,
Yeah.
43-11-4,
Christ almighty.
which they can't seem to really lose at home
I think that.
or on the road or
All right.
just in general.
Well, unfortunately, you know what this means. President's Trophy. And we all know what happens with that. So,
Hey, if they might have the double whammy. They might have the Melrose curse and the President's Trophy curse.
oh God.
But they have a goal differential of plus 70 as well as being the best team in the league right now. 229 goals, which has to be the best in the league. They are definitely the highest scoring team in the NHL. Followed closely behind by the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are 35-18-3 for 73 points and a goal differential of plus 41.
Nice.
29 goals behind Tampa Bay from what I see so far, second place for goals for. And the Boston Bruins are currently in third place at 32-17-8 with a goal differential of plus 20. So you see the top three teams in the Atlantic Division play good defense and have offenses that can put the puck in the net. And in the two wild card spots right now, we have one from the Atlantic and we have one from the Metro. We have the Montreal Canadiens in the number one spot at 31-18-7 with a goal differential of plus 10.
Wow.
And the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second spot at 30-20-7 with a goal differential of plus 22.
And they are holding on to that fairly well right now, but few
3-point differential between the
3-point
Pittsburgh
differential,
Penguins and the Carolina Hurricanes.
a little
who-
slip up, and before you know it, that could become quite a tight race between them and Buffalo and Pittsburgh right now.
If the Florida Panthers and the Philadelphia Flyers stay on the road that they're heading, it's going to tighten up real quick.
Definitely.
Carolina Hurricanes sitting in third place at 29-22-6, playing good hockey as of late. Justin Williams being the captain has really sparked this team. The addition of Nino Niederreiter has helped spark this team. They're playing way better hockey than I thought they were.
I know Carolina's come out as a huge shocker this year right now.
Buffalo Sabres currently in fourth in the wild card at 28-21-7. Defensively, they're hurting. They're hurting big time. They got to get some more offense going, and because they have a differential of -6.
Ooh.
You're going to see a lot of. You're just going to see the differential get worse and worse as we go to the Philadelphia Flyers, who are back over 500 playing hockey at 26-24-7. Then you have the Florida Panthers at 24-24-8, tied in with the New York Rangers, who are also 24-24-8. Goal differentials are the only big difference maker here, as the Panthers have a differential of -23 to the Rangers at -27. And around at the bottom three, which we're not even going to go into the records, is the Detroit Red Wings, the New Jersey Devils, and the Ottawa Senators as the bottom three in the East.
Man, it just keeps getting bad for them Devils, and I love it. All right, keep on going.
All right, so now we're going to enter the Western Conference, which is my domain. I don't know why I did that. I apologize. I made an ass out of myself.
It's all right. I think I've done my fair share of doing that to myself, so you're good.
In the Central Division, we have the Winnipeg Jets in first place with a record of 36-18-3 and a goal differential plus 35. The Nashville Predators in second place at 33-21-5 with a differential of plus 24. And the Dallas Stars in third place at 29-23-5 after getting shut out by the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight and giving up 6 goals, which took their differential from plus 5 to -1. Ouch.
Yeah.
We're going to move over to Pacific Division now. You got the San Jose Sharks in first place at 34-16-7. And the Calgary Flames, who are tied for first place as well, at 34-16-7.
Talk about a rebound after a rough year.
San Jose Sharks have found their way back to the top. Calgary Flames aren't going anywhere anytime soon with the team that they have.
No.
You have the Vegas Golden Knights rounding out the top three with 31-23-4 record and a goal differential of plus 10. Now, the reason why I give the goal differentials is it plays a huge part on how good your offense is versus your defense.
Pretty much. And obviously, the lower in the standings you go, the better chance are you're going to see those negatives.
Hi, the Anaheim Ducks have the worst differential. We'll get there.
Oh, Christ.
They do. Look at that. That's
oh,
terrible,
my God.
right?
Yeah.
It hurts to look at.
I'm not going to lie. It hurts me, and I'm not a Ducks fan. Jesus.
There's no way that differential is going to be in the positive side this year. All right, so we're going to enter a wild card where both teams are in the Central Division right now if the playoffs were to start today. We have the St. Louis Blues currently in the number 1 spot, 28-22-5, where they are playing probably the best stretch of hockey now that they've been playing all year and found themselves getting back into the playoff race. And the Minnesota Wild currently hold that second spot at 27-25-5 with a differential of -7. That Minnesota defense has been struggling a lot as of late. The offense is doing a fine job, which they do under Bruce Boudreau, but the defense hurts. And now going into the guys who are on the bubble, which there are the rest of them. They're all within a playoff spot. All right, so you got the Vancouver Canucks currently in third at 25-26-7. The surprising Arizona Coyotes at 25-26-5.
Where the fuck did they come from?
Arizona?
No, I don't mean the actual physical desert that they come from. I mean, as a team in a shitty organization, they have no business being there.
A team who at once had the best line in hockey, who might still have the best line in hockey, the Colorado Avalanche, find themselves in 5th place now after being in a division spot for most of the year. Have been struggling as of late, tumbled down to the 5th spot in the wild card.
Jesus.
To a 22-23-11 record and a -6 goal differential.
I don't know if that's a tumble as more as your shoes came untied and you went into full free fall after you tripped.
Now, this team in 6th place right now, it's a little bit surprising with how well they're playing tonight, and they did get the win tonight in New Jersey. It's the Chicago Blackhawks. That's a team that I thought their window was closed for the playoff rush. They're making a case to be a buyer at the trade deadline to maybe force that window open for one more run. They're currently at 23-25-9 with a -4 goal differential. Now, if they want to have a shot, they're gonna have to get that goaltending situation in place, and that defense needs to be a little bit more stabilized. Offense is doing a solid job, but they definitely need to score more goals overall. But the Chicago Blackhawks making a case for the playoffs here, as they are currently 4 points out of that second spot. Currently being held by the Minnesota Wild. I almost said Vikings for some reason.
The miss.
Currently in 7th. Sorry, Brodo. I didn't mean to bring it up. It just happened. Is the Edmonton Oilers at 24-27-5 at 53 points, who are currently 6 points back, which is where the Anaheim Ducks are. with a minus 27 goal differential. Again, things teams seem to always want to go wrong for the Edmonton Oilers. And it's a shame because they have a franchise changer, and the franchise hasn't changed.
In my opinion, it's a perfect example of how not to rebuild your team because they just cannot figure it out.
And in 8th place, the Anaheim Ducks.
If you wanted
at
me to read that
22,
off.
26, and 9, currently 6 points out of the second wild card spot, at a minus 54.
Oh, my Christ.
Goal differential. Worst in hockey.
Jesus.
Worst in hockey.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
How? I could understand.
They don't score.
But that's the thing, though. I could understand if it was the Coyotes sporting something like that, but the Ducks? Like, what the fuck?
There was a point where if the Anaheim Ducks didn't win last night, they would be sitting in last place in the Western Conference. They are currently 4th worst in power play. They are in the middle of the road for the penalty kill. It's fucking brutal to watch because there's no offensive system for these guys to go off of. It's just kind of like, all right, just
Why haven't they fired anybody? I don't understand.
I know.
Well, they just fired Randy Carlyle after the Flyers game after they lost 6-2.
I don't think that's good enough.
No, honestly, no, because I can tell you this
I don't
much.
disagree.
One of the major things that's the one major thing I got out of that. I was like, my God, the Ducks go into the box a lot. They were in the
That's the
box
other thing. They're a very undisciplined team.
many times. I was shocked. I was like, I have never seen the Ducks play this undisciplined ever. They were in the box like 5 or 6 times.
They're always like a physical team, and they always push that line. But lately, they've been the team that's unable to hold their frustration in. And I understand it. They've been playing very pitiful hockey. They're a team that's frustrated. They want to get back on the winning side. They know they're a better team than that. But when your captain loses all faith in the head coach, and you could tell by the way he played, the whole rest of the team is going to follow suit. So when he starts taking frustrations out on whoever he fought last night, that's a sign to say something.
That is a sign to say something. I mean, unfortunately, I think the Ducks, the problem was that I think they were so married to the idea of keeping Carlisle there for whatever reason for the time. Or they just didn't have a replacement available.
I don't think they had a replacement available. I don't think they have a replacement available, which is why Bob Murray's taking over as the interim head coach for the rest of the year. I think they're going to make a play for Joe Quenneville. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They have a talented team, and actually I think they have a more talented team than the Chicago Blackhawks that won the Cups did.
Well,
which I think he could do a lot more with.
Well, I mean, how long did it take him to turn the team around? I mean, Chicago wound up in the playoffs, I think, his second, third year as head coach. So it's
so it was a quick turnaround.
Imagine that. Like, I mean, it will be like a season turnaround for the Ducks because the Ducks have that talent. So, I mean.
And before we go more into depth with Anaheim, I just want to finish out the Los Angeles Kings, who are 23, 28, and 5, 51 points, 8 points out of the final wild card spot here with a minus 35 goal differential. The Anaheim Ducks are a very talented team. They have a really talented roster. Just look at the offense. Jakob Silfverberg, Ryan Kessler, Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaf. All these guys are all-stars or potential all-stars. Adam Henrique, who just signed a 5-year extension. You gotta get these guys into a system that's going to benefit them. Randy Carlyle didn't have that. He had a very defensive-minded system, which is great, but it clearly didn't work so well. Being they've given up 182 goals, which is probably around the league average.
I could say, yeah.
But it's a system that didn't flourish for the offense because they didn't really have a system. They just kind of went out and played.
It's just one of those things where he worked in one era, he doesn't work now. You know, it's as simple as that.
He worked in 2007 with a team that was primarily a bunch of guys who were like to throw fisticuffs.
Pretty much.
It was a physical team. It was a bunch of guys that threw their weight around, and then you had a guy on defense who led offensively with Scott Niedermayer.
Yeah.
You know, I love Ryan Getzlaf, and I think he's a really good captain. But sometimes you just need a new voice.
Well, yeah, and you also don't have the guys, and not only do you have that, it was also a different era of hockey. They hadn't completely transitioned into the modern game, so it was still a little different. But anyway, so with that being said, from these standings before we send everybody home. Let me see here. So if the playoffs were to start today, we would be looking at, in the East, the New York Islanders. I still cannot believe I'm saying that. At the top of the Metropolitan Division, they
have a 3-point lead, too. Whoops, sorry, wrong one.
Nope, wrong one. 74 to 69, so a little different. The Islanders.
I was looking at their rows.
That is the tiebreaker. But the New York Islanders, they would be going off against, I believe, the Montreal Canadiens. So that would be an interesting series. The Washington Capitals and the Columbus Blue Jackets would have a rematch in the first round. I wonder if it would play out the same way.
I think it would.
Tampa Bay would be facing off with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Poor Mikey.
I don't think Mikey wants that to actually be the case, honestly. Not the same Pittsburgh team that faced them in the Eastern Conference Finals. And Toronto would be facing with Boston.
See, this would be a great first-round matchup,
Yes,
an
it
original
would.
6 matchup in the
Christ.
in the first round.
That's
It would be a brutal. It would be a bloodbath.
That's a 7-gamer, too, by the way. That I would see Toronto walking out of that one, in my opinion, but by God, it'd be tremendous to get there. Okay, on to the West. And in the Central, leading the way is the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, here's the problem with this is you got a 3-way tie here for first place. You got Winnipeg, San Jose, and Calgary all at 75 points apiece.
What about the Rows? Oh, shit, the Rows even
The Rows are the same.
Well, I think it's the goals for that then decides it. So
it
the
would
goals
be
for
San
is
Jose.
San Jose. All right, so Winnipeg would face off with Minnesota. And no, St. Louis. Sorry.
Yep.
So Winnipeg would face off with St. Louis, and that would be a rough series for St. Louis. Unfortunately.
Actually, I think St. Louis would have a little bit of fun. I think they would win a couple games out of that series.
All right, then.
They've been playing really well.
All right. Well, they're there for a reason. Next up, Nashville would face off with Dallas in the Central Division matchup. That one would go to, I'm going to say Nashville.
Yeah, I give that one Nashville.
Yeah, that's not a safe, but, yeah, I'd still say go to Nashville. All right, on to the Pacific. We have San Jose. They would be facing off with Minnesota. That would be a victory for San Jose. Because even though Minnesota has been defensive-minded, I don't think they have an answer for San Jose because San Jose's got a strong defense and offense, so it'd be a little tough for them.
Well, you got a younger team versus an older team. I think the younger team will prevail in that one. Believe it or not, I think they'll upset San Jose.
All right then,
Especially with Zach Parise flourishing again.
That is true. He was a dangerous playoff player. And then in the Pacific, you have the Calgary Flames and the Vegas Golden Knights.
I got Calgary in that series. Calgary's just they're way too tough of a team this year, and they're playing phenomenal hockey.
I would say Calgary would win it, and mainly not even just because of that reason. I think that Stanley Cup final letdown has yet to hit Las Vegas, but it's going to hit them in the playoffs. You know it's coming. You don't know when. Maybe the first round, maybe the second round, maybe even the Western Conference Finals.
I think the
But
team that
at
you're
some
I think the
point-
Vegas Knights team that you're seeing this year, that's the real one. That's the team that's not running off of a high from trying to bring a city back together after a huge tragedy like they had last year. You're seeing a good team. You're seeing a very solid team, but you're not seeing a team that I think is good enough to get back to the Stanley Cup.
No, absolutely not. I think that letdown is going to come. But like I said, who knows? That's what it would look like if the playoffs started today. Give everybody an idea of where everyone is at. And for all the Flyers fans, we're getting there. Be patient, and maybe the Flyers could wind up shocking everybody and getting in on that wild card.
Second wild card team, I'm calling it now.
That would be awesome. All right. No, because we faced Tampa. But anyway. All right, moving on.
I didn't say they were winning the first round. I said they were getting in as a wild card.
Damn it. All right, anyway, moving on. Thank you all for joining us once again for the Hockey Happy Hour. If you are having some festivities for St. Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to you, and also to you two gentlemen as well.
Same to you, Maddie.
Thank you. And we wish everybody out there a safe and pleasant evening and a safe trip home as well.
Don't forget to wrap it up.
Yes. Also, buckle up for safety. With that being said, folks, this has been the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. Last call, everyone, for you to all head on home. We will be back next Thursday, once again, talking about the Flyers and everything going on in the NHL. We are brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accounts located 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give them a call, 215-369-3300. Taxes suck, so don't get stuck with them. And also brought to you by Scazano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scazanosports.com. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you next week on a2dradio.com.